Steve Adubato. More importantly, we have him back. Dr. Walt Guarino. He's a partner in a firm called Practicomm. It is a virtual communications agency. Is that true?
That's absolutely right.
You admit that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have 30 freelancers.
That's right.
Describe the firm. By the way, you have spent 40 years before this, let's say a more traditional, full-service communication firm?
That's right. The big brick and mortar houses.
Yeah. How's this different?
Well, it's a world of difference. I have 3 partners. We are all considered independent practitioners, but we've had a lot of experience together, and we know a lot of the same people who do different kinds of things in our business. So we're able to call upon these people with a good deal of knowledge, and we're able to target our communications in a way that you never could, because, for example, in a large agency, if you want to do an annual report, you get the team that's been doing your retail advertising and your other advertising. They may not really be experts at annual reports, but they get the assignment. When we get a report, an annual report assignment, we get people who really are specialized in annual reports, and we bring them on. So we target the people to the job before the job is targeted to the end user.
Do you have that kind of flexibility?
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible flexibility. And everybody sort of works in a kind of community way. I mean, we get clients from the people that we call to freelance. So we put our own expertise into it as well.
This is interesting. You know, we go back a long way with Walt. Walt's been a professor at Seton Hall in the field of advertising and branding, communications. Walt's has been an expert for a long time analyzing Super Bowl commercials. You know, what works, what doesn't work, who just got ripped off because they just got a bad buy. And also, Walt is in fact a board member, a longtime board member of the Caucus Educational Corporation, the company that runs this production. And Walt and I have had a lot of conversations about branding and advertising and marketing. 40 years in the business before you made this move.
Yeah.
And you loved what you did, but something didn't feel right. What was it?
The things that really didn't feel right, and I wish I had realized them about 10 years ago, but it's sort of this freedom and fulfillment kind of feeling that you don't totally get when you have a, quote, boss. To make your own decisions in terms of what you want to do. It's sort of like, you know, there's a great expression that when you get up in the morning and you can do what you like to do, you're a success.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that kind of esprit and spirit. So one, it's a psychological boost to do it. Secondly, it's a different world because you're able to take on kinds of clients that you normally wouldn't be able to take under a large agency's aegis.
Because the large agency would say no, they're a startup, the risk is too big, the return we don't see. No, Walt, we're not taking them.
Right.
And you say, yeah, but Jim, I see the potential. Jim says, Walt, that's not your call.
That's right.
I know I'm oversimplifying it.
No, that's absolutely true. There are guidelines that the agencies have in terms of minimal revenue expectations, and the clients have to meet those deadlines and those requirements. So it's kind of tough to do certain things that you want to do. And one of my clients now is very fulfilling to me. This fella invented a protocol which is guaranteeing that the plastic food wrapping and packaging and containers that you use don't contain any animal byproducts or meat. Now think about...
is that what that is right
there? That's
there?
ERC group, yes. That's it stands for ethnic and religiously compliant. So that now when people meet this standard, which is 1 part per 40 billion pure, you can't get purer than that, then people will know for the first time that there's no meat in here. Now think about the vegans, think about kosher, think about the Muslims, and the millions of people who are ingesting something that is either against their religion or their will.
And your agency is able to take that on. That would not have happened, in your thinking, in a more traditional firm.
Not likely, because there's no money at all right now.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the money.
Yeah.
Because you're running a business.
Yeah. Well,
we're a nonprofit, as you know.
Yes.
But we're running a business.
Yeah.
We don't bring in enough money. We don't have these cameras and these very highly, overpaid camera people.
Right.
You like that guy? But we have a great team. I mean, the bottom line is you are running a business, black and red. You got to make your budget.
That's right.
What about that part of it?
Well, what you do is accounts like that, you fit into your 24-hour workday. Somebody said, that's the problem when you go free. you're going to be working 24 hours. But I say, well, I get to pick the 24 hours I want to work.
What does that mean?
Well, I can adjust my schedule and fit things in. I can take it at my pace as opposed to having to be told where I have to be when. And that allows me a lot of freedom. Plus, look at the time that I don't spend commuting anymore. I mean, that's a couple of hours a day.
Social media changed things?
Social media is
Make the
probably
case.
the reason. Probably the
Make the
reason.
case.
I think it's the whole reason why a bunch of people are doing what I'm doing, whether it's in communications or their various fields. The important thing about social media is that you can now do things that you could never do 10 years ago because you couldn't afford to do them.
For example?
Well, for example, even places like Kinko and Staples and those kinds of places are available for you so that you can deliver very professional products. Online software is available to deliver very professional looking products. And the entire internet is filled with coaching and people who tell you how you can succeed, and whether you use LinkedIn or whether you actually go out there and look for blogs on the subject. Executive coaches, life coaches, people that can tell you how to meet expectations, how to brand yourself, how to market yourself. And the whole networking capability is available right in your own dining room.
But in the end, how much of it still comes down to retail, face-to-face, being with people, making those deals that cannot be done through social media and the internet?
Well, the thing is that the way business is being done today, mostly e-tail, which is growing rapidly, e-commerce, is where the personality and the face-to-face is really coming from your website, from your internet site. That has to make the first initial appeal. After that, then there is a time for close and some human contact. But unless you can do the right things to get people to your website and they can learn about you and take another step, you're not going to succeed anymore. And even the big companies are realizing this. And social media lets you drive the traffic there because there are tons of free ways that you can use. Once you learn them, they're very simple to drive traffic to that site.
Before I let you out of here, Walt, you've been in this business 40 plus years. Your advice to someone else who says, hey, this is interesting. This guy spent 4 decades and now he's doing it. But I don't think it's right for me. Do I have what it takes to be an entrepreneur, you say?
I say most people are afraid of the risk. So they probably cover up that risk with this feeling that they're not capable of doing it. But somebody gave me advice a while ago, and they said, write down on a piece of paper 10 things that you think you could do if you ran your own business. And then the second thing they asked me to do was write 10 more. And then they said, look for the overlap. And I just found that the things that I really was excelling at from teaching as well as the actual practical business was branding and on social media. And those are the 2 things that I focused on to go out on my own.
You love it, don't you?
I love it.
Dr. Walt Guarino, partner in Practicomm. Thank you, Walt.
Thank you
Always
so
learn
much.
something new when you're here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Stay right there. One-on-one will continue right after this. Good stuff, Walt.